Hello, so today we're going to be starting a Let's Play for Inside. Played Eggs Inside. It's kind of like a sequel to Limbo. I mean, not like a direct sequel, but a mechanical sequel. Builds upon a lot of the stuff they did in Limbo, like the platforming gameplay, but has a completely different story. I guess that's one of those things you can have in video games, which you can't have, say, in books, and probably, I mean, you can have it to a degree in movies, but you can't have it in the same way that you can in a game, like a mechanical sequel or mechanics or gameplay. I'm trying to think what to call it, like a mechanical is probably the best word for it, but like something where it's the structure. Okay. The structure that's copied rather than like the story elements or the themes. So this is quite a dark dystopian game. Oh, okay. So guy in the distance there. It's not a horror game as such, though there are a few unsettling moments in it. There's no real scares per se. Not in the sense you'd expect with a traditional horror game. It's a platformer and a puzzle solver. So we're going to hang around here just till they move. There we go. And then just run past. I really like this game. I don't know how long a playthrough is going to be. It's only like a roughly about 3 hour long game, I think, but then I've already played it at least twice now, and I'm pretty good or pretty familiar with all the puzzles, so I think I'm going to either crash and burn or zoom through them all. I guess we'll see. So just to explain a few of the mechanics, it is 2.5D. It's a 3D environment, but we can only move in 2 dimensions, and if you look, we can move left and right, obviously. Up and down doesn't do anything. We can jump, and we can also grab stuff. A to jump and B to grab. So if you look, our character's moving in 2 dimensions, but as soon as he comes up to the object, pushes past it, and the object stays in the slightly behind him, even while he's moving in those 2 dimensions. So this is a game where pretty much the entirety of the story is told through the background, and the environment you encounter. There's no cutscenes, there's no dialogue, there's no text. It's literally just what you see on screen is what you know about the game and the world, which I really like. Here comes the doggy. So some of the puzzles are about logic and thinking your way out of a scenario, like adding up parts in the scenario or parts in the scene to get to a solution, and other times it's just about timing and skill. Like there, all we had to do was run and then jump at just the right moment to avoid the dog. But there'll be other times where we have to be a bit more smart about how we play. So if you notice the van at the start of the last scene, or the end of the last section, here it is back again, which I think is a nice touch. I think I actually failed this like the first 1 or 2 times. think the first time I didn't realise the cave was there, and then the second time I didn't quite time it right. Can't remember what happens to you. I presume you just get shot, but not too sure. I do love that so much of the story is just told through the background, because you never find out who this kid is or what you're doing. You're just running. Okay. Need to stop here. Get past these two? Yeah, no. You just like this kid running from these obviously quite scary men. I mean, I guess it's kind of feels a bit like Stranger Things in that sense. Like they could just be the government or something like that. You don't really know. But as the game moves along, we need to avoid that light. Just going to duck under. Should save us. As the game goes along, it becomes obvious there's something more going on. And I don't know. I think it's aliens, but I'm not too sure. Because there's like a lot of weird tech involved, and like mind control and parasites and stuff. And it just seems a bit too ridiculous to just be about, or just be something humans have developed randomly. But that's my sense of the story. God, I love this atmosphere though. Look at all this. Look at that thick fog just clinging to the road. I mean, like I say, it's not a horror game in any real sense of the term, but it's dystopian in elements, and there's obviously sci-fi later on, but it's also dark and atmospheric. There are horror elements. I mean, later on there's more direct horror elements, but I mean, like this it's very unnerving. And I know nothing happens, but still, it's just such a lifeless, like barren environment. You just can't help but feel unwelcome in the world, if that makes sense. And the pig corpses don't help much either. Gotta be honest. Whee! This puzzle took me forever to figure out when I first played. I think I actually cheated on this one. I didn't cheat on too many, but this one just like, it was such a head scratcher. So basically what you have to do is there's this bale of straw over here. And you need to push that over here, because what we need to do is get up here. So we need to push this onto the floor so we can then jump up onto it and then over. And we do that using this air pushing machine thingy. I don't know, what is it? Is it supposed to be some sort of farm equipment? I'm not entirely sure, I'm sorry. Then we operate that. Okay, is that the bow maker? No. And then that is supposed to push it off there, but we need something to put in there as projectiles, and this took me forever to figure out. We actually need to use these guys, the chickens or chicks that have followed us. So what we do, come all the way over here, jump over them, get back over here and pull the lever, and that should launch them over there, yep. And then the bale is on the floor. So that took me like so long to realise, because it didn't make any sense to me to use the small chicks as projectiles. It does in terms of the game, but like in a real world sense it made no sense to me. But it is a good puzzle, like, regardless. Just took me forever to realise. And I had to look it up in the end. So this is weird, like the pigs have these parasites in them. I don't know if that's what killed them. But you can see them like wriggling around in the air. So like worm-like parasites. Don't exactly know what those are. Oh, I died so many times on this. So if you like, even if you're right next to him, if you touch him, he kills you instantly. You just have to keep jumping over him until you can get him to do this. And then you're home free. Although, not quite home free because he's back again. Yeah, microphone's getting in the way a bit. Yeah, okay, there we go. So what we do, we pull that out, and then the pig is docile. We can move him over here to the centre of the room, so he can jump onto this. I do love the design of the game though, like they've really spent a lot of time like figuring out what leads the eye and what draws you to a puzzle sort of thing. Like, even though I didn't know I could mind control with this, I knew it was something I had to try and jump onto, if that makes sense. And then once I've jumped onto it, it was pretty much intuitive that I was suddenly mind controlling them for some reason. I had to use that to my advantage. Not that mind control makes a lot of sense anyway, but you know. Just roll with it. I love the backgrounded elements though, the way the story's told. Like the people ready to be like rounded up and just used as slaves. Don't actually know what's wrong with them. Maybe they've got that. Maybe it is the parasites like the pigs had. Because it makes the pigs go, or made that pig go crazy. But then these people are docile, so I don't know, maybe it's something else, maybe it's those parasites. I'm guessing it's implied that it's the parasites, I'm not 100% though. I mean, it's all deduction based on what the game shows you. Need to make the jump, yep. Oh. My bad. There we go. So we need to be careful here. When we push this off, it's going to break the boards. And if we fall off, that does kill us. Okay, and we just need to go down. Yeah, I could have jumped down there, couldn't I? I guess that's why they put the hole there, as like a quick shortcut once you've done this. Okay, so if you notice these yellow lines around the map, these do actually lead you to like in-game extras. I think you use these and then potentially, if you find all of them, it leads you to an alternate ending. I've only found a few throughout the game though, so I've not seen that yet, and I've not spoiled it by watching on YouTube either, so... Okay, so what we need to do, get these two guys out here, close the gate, and then if we turn them around, they'll be equal distance from each side of the room and just in the right position to hit those switches to let us through. So there we go. I remember the first time through, this took me so many tries, like on these puzzles. I don't know if I was just being slow or like, it had been a while since I played any sort of puzzle game,